Here is something nobody wants to talk about. If you're watching this, you're probably over 60. You love your independence. You have zero interest in moving in with someone, merging bank accounts, or explaining to your adult children why there is a strange car in the driveway at 7 in the morning. But you miss physical intimacy. You miss the human touch. And you're tired of pretending you don't. So today, we're laying out a complete blueprint for friends with benefits after 60. How to find the right person, set the right boundaries, protect your heart, and protect your health. Because nobody else is giving you a straight answer on this. Be sure to stay through the whole video, because the section on biology alone could save you from the single biggest mistake older adults make in casual relationships. I'll explain exactly what I mean in just a bit. First, let me address the elephant in the room right away. Younger generations think the idea of people over 60 having an active sex life is, and I quote, cringeworthy. Society basically expects seniors to be sexless, and the topic stays uncomfortably taboo, even among friends and family your own age. You probably can't even bring this up at a dinner party without someone changing the subject. But here is what's real. You might thoroughly enjoy living alone. You probably treasure your independence. And you can still deeply miss the intimate physical connection that comes with a relationship. That is a completely valid desire. A sexual relationship without strings is a legitimate choice if you manage it correctly. And that "if" is what this entire video is about. A quick question before we keep going. Have you ever felt judged for wanting physical connection without a traditional relationship? Drop a comment below. I bet you are not alone, and I want you to know that. Before we get into the how, we need to lock in the one rule that makes everything else work. Transparency first. Communicate your wants, needs, and expectations from the start. Decide ahead of time exactly what you want, and set firm boundaries before you go anywhere near the dating pool. Anything goes between two people as long as they both fully agree to it and understand the boundaries. That is the golden rule. Think of it this way. You wouldn't start a business partnership with a handshake and no contract. This is the same idea. You define the terms up front so nobody gets hurt. Now the phrase "friends with benefits" gets thrown around loosely. So let me help you pinpoint what you actually want. There are 4 options on this dating spectrum, and they are very different from each other. 1. The one-time hookup or booty call. It's strictly physical. No meeting each other's friends. No traveling together. No emotional investment. Very compartmentalized. 2 is friends with benefits. This one heavily emphasizes the friend part. That means you might meet each other's social circles, travel together, help each other around the house, even take care of each other when someone is sick. There is a genuine friendship underneath the physical relationship. 3. Date mates. We'll dig into this one in a second because it's a sweet spot that a lot of people over 60 are looking for. And 4. Committed relationship. Full emotional investment, exclusivity, shared life plans. If that is what you want, great. But this video is for people who want something different. The key takeaway here is to ask yourself 4 questions. How much public integration do I want? How much domestic overlap? How emotionally invested am I willing to get? And do I expect exclusivity? Your answers tell you where you fall on this spectrum. And be honest with yourself, because the worst thing you can do is tell someone you want casual when you secretly want committed. That doesn't protect anyone. It just delays the pain. Now, let me introduce a concept that may not be familiar, but could be exactly what you want. Sexpert Joan Price calls it a date mate. She defines it as somewhere between dating and mating, with plenty of lust. Picture a Venn diagram. On one side, you have a playmate. Purely physical, strictly casual, high compartmentalization. On the other side, you have an in-love partner. Deeply committed, shared life direction, traditional expectations. Right in the middle is the date mate. More than just a friend with benefits, it involves regular dating and high affection. But it completely lacks the escalated expectations of traditional long-term commitment. For many of you watching, this might be exactly the arrangement that fits your life. You want genuine connection and regular companionship, but you don't want to merge households or have the talk about where this is going. Okay, so you know what you want. Now, where do you find it? I think of this as a 3-tier radar system. Tier 1 is your existing network. Old friends, former lovers, especially those in different cities, because distance creates natural built-in boundaries. And let your close friends know you are open to meeting new people. They can act as scouts and make introductions you would never get on your own. Tier 2 is shared lifestyles. Retirement communities are a hidden hub for casual partners, and I know that surprises some people, but it's true. Also look at meetup.org for all kinds of groups like dance lessons, tennis, and golf, to name just a few. And there are mature single travel groups and cruises. These are very social environments. Tier 3 are dedicated online platforms, online dating sites that specifically cater to senior singles. Many of these sites let you check off exactly what type of relationship you are looking for, which saves everyone time. Now Tier 3 brings up an important tactical question. How do you set up your dating profile so you attract the right people and repel the wrong ones? That's pretty straightforward. When you set up an online dating profile, you get 3 opportunities to filter for compatibility. First, use the checkboxes. Most platforms give you built-in relationship intent filters. Use them aggressively. Check casual dating or short-term. Leave marriage unchecked. This one step alone screens out a huge number of mismatches. Second, use the narrative filter. If the site doesn't have specific checkbox options, state your exact intentions clearly in the written bio. Be direct. Something like, I am looking for casual companionship with the right person. I'm not looking for a traditional commitment. This language repels incompatible matches and attracts people who want the same thing. Third, platform selection. Make sure whatever platform you choose allows for clear boundary setting. Not all of them do. Some sites are designed exclusively for people seeking marriage. If that's not your goal, don't waste your time there. Okay, this is the section I mentioned at the top of the video. And it's really important because this is where most casual relationships fall apart. And it has nothing to do with willpower. It is biology. Sexual activity triggers a massive surge of a chemical called oxytocin. You might have heard it called the cuddle hormone or the love hormone. Scientists note sharp oxytocin increases following orgasm in humans. It's biologically designed to force pair bonding. It helps mothers bond with infants. It helps romantic partners attach to each other. But here's the danger. This chemical surge manufactures a feeling of intense love. It entirely overrides the logical, no-strings-attached agreement you made beforehand. You walked in saying, "This is casual," and your brain is now screaming, "I'm in love with this person." That is not love. That's chemistry hijacking your decision-making. And this happens to men and women equally. The idea that only women catch feelings is a myth. Plenty of men become so attached to someone they are sleeping with that they will do anything for that person, even if it goes against their own best interest. So, think about what I just said. You have this powerful chemical working against your boundaries. And in the next section, I'll show you exactly how scammers exploit that vulnerability. Here is how their trap works, step by step. Step 1. Unvetted intimacy. You enter a physical relationship before you deeply vet the other person's character. In a friends with benefits situation, you may have just met this person. You don't really know much about who they are. Step 2. The chemical override. Oxytocin floods your system and blinds your logical decision-making. Everything feels warm and right and safe. Step 3. Boundary collapse. You ignore the red flags, all because of these artificial feelings of love. Step 4. The trap springs. A scammer talks you into loaning them money, or into an investment, into giving up personal information, or into something else sketchy. Usually, their identity is fictitious, and once they have what they want, they disappear. This can happen whether you meet the person on a dating app or through someone you know. It happens across all platforms, all backgrounds, all income levels. Now I need to talk about a different kind of risk, and most people over 60 are completely unaware of this. The CDC says adults 55 and older are the most rapidly growing demographic for all sexually transmitted diseases in the United States. Let those numbers sink in. Since 2005, syphilis risk among older adults has jumped 67%. Chlamydia risk has risen 40% in the same period. According to the CDC, all kinds of STDs are on the rise for the 55-plus population. Can you guess why? Because without the risk of pregnancy, too many mature men and women stop using condoms. They forget that STDs are still a very real possibility. As the saying goes, 50 is the new 30. Applies to STI transmission rates just as much as it applies to lifestyle. I know that's uncomfortable to hear, but here's the good news. There is a simple 2-part safety protocol that handles both the emotional risk and the physical risk. I call this the dual shield safety protocol. 2 shields, 2 layers of protection. Shield 1 is emotional defense. Take it slow. Delay physical intimacy long enough to thoroughly vet the other person's character and verify their identity. You're not in a rush. Slowing down is the single most powerful thing you can do. And guard your heart. Now that you know about the oxytocin trap, consciously monitor yourself for attachment that breaks your own rules. If you start feeling like you're falling in love after a few encounters, recognize that for what it is. It's chemistry, not compatibility. Shield 2 is physical defense. This means mandatory testing. Both partners must test negative for any sexually transmitted infection before any sexual contact. No exceptions. If someone refuses to get tested, that tells you everything you need to know about their respect for your well-being. And be strict about protection. Health officials recommend condoms every time until absolute monogamy is pledged and verified. And to be extra safe, some couples use condoms for a while, even after both tests come back clean. These 2 shields work together to protect you from the emotional ambush and the physical risk. Use both, every time. Let me bring everything together into 3 words you can remember when you're starting your friends with benefits search. Number 1, define. Clarify whether you want a hookup, friends with benefits, or date mate. Set firm boundaries around public integration, domestic overlap, emotional investment, and exclusivity. Know your own terms before you meet anyone. Number 2, navigate. Activate your network. Reach out to friends and old connections. Join high engagement groups through meetups, travel, or retirement communities. And when you go digital, set your intentions explicitly on the platform. Number 3, protect. Move at a slow pace to prevent oxytocin from bonding you to a stranger. And enforce the dual shield protocol. Tests plus condoms. Every time. Define. Navigate. Protect. That is the complete FWB blueprint. Now, whether you are looking for a date mate or are ready to find your soulmate, don't leave dating or casual relationships to chance. And definitely do not keep making the mistakes that keep mature singles stuck and frustrated. We built a full set of resources at Smart Dating Over 60 to help you with every part of this. In the library, you will find the Mature Dating Game Plan and Mature Dating Challenges. These ebooks walk you through the mindset, strategy, and common traps that derail people in our age group. In our Smart Dating Toolkit, we have an AI-powered online dating profile writer that helps you craft a profile that attracts the right matches. And the Dating Calculator shows you a realistic timeline for finding the right person based on your specific situation. And last, when you are ready to get on a dating platform, we recommend eHarmony. It's our readers' favorite for secure, vetted matching. The links to these assets are all in the description. If this video helped you, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want more straight talk about dating over 60. And leave a comment telling me where you fall on the spectrum. Are you a hookup person? A friends with benefits person? A date mate? Or are you still figuring it out? We read every single comment. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.